Hey, it's Keith from KG's Garage. Thanks for coming back and check out this video. This one's about when I did the HHR AC compressor. It's about a year and a half old. I didn't publish this one right away because it took so long to edit. This is one of my first videos and my old way of recording, where I would set the camera up and just let it roll and just record for as long as it would take. So I have to go through like hours of video to just get this one like half-hour video. There's like a lot of editing out of this thing, and I got to sit there and you know, pretty much watch 3 hours of videos, 4 hours of video, whatever I took to edit it down to this 30-minute. So it took a little while. So that's what I mean. It doesn't take a year and a half, but it's just been sitting on my computer, and I changed the way I do videos now. I am just trying to get the action, not so much of the downtime. You know, it's like, let's take this. Let's take this thing off. And in the past, I would just say, let it go, and then you'd see me taking that thing off. Now I say, we're going to take this off. It's going to be this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and then I do it, and then it's off. It's a lot quicker with on the editing side. And and if usually if I run into a problem, I'll come back and I'll add a little detail of what the problem is. But anyway, so this is about the HHR. It's about a year and a half old. The AC's been working great after I did all this. I'm just going to show you. Now, I've still got it. It's in the shop now. I don't drive that much now. But AC works great. And sit back. I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks. Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the KG's Garage. Today what I'm working on is my 2008 Chevy HHR. The AC went out on it. I took it to a place, tested it out. They said it was the AC compressor. So they wanted a lot of money to replace it. So what I did was I went online. I bought a new AC compressor. The guy suggested just replacing the compressor. I wasn't too crazy about that, so I bought a new compressor, new expansion valve, and new condenser. This condenser is fine, but I'll see how much of a pain it is to change it. I have a new one. It was like $100 for a new one. So if I replace it, I do. But it definitely needs an AC compressor and evaporator valve. Since the system's all empty right now, I might as well change that also, which I'll show you that later. But that's what I'm doing today on this thing. Hopefully I can get it all done, and I'll have AC tomorrow. I'll show you all the steps that I'm going to do. Thanks. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I got this angled screwdriver. I'm going to stick it in here in the straighter valve. I'm going to press down, and nothing should come out because it's supposed to be empty. All right, there's a little bit coming out. So there's still some in there, but I don't have any way to evacuate it. So when I start disconnecting things, it'll come out. You have the condenser here. Right, there's a condenser. Looks like the only thing I might have to do is I might have to take this latch off, and I think it just pops right out. Push that plastic in and lift this up. This is all metal, right? And I have to disconnect the connection down there with some O-rings on there. The evaporator valve is all the way in there. If you follow these lines, there's a block there, and that's the evaporator valve is in there. So it's one bolt, and I'm assuming these lines come out, and then you take it out. And then obviously the AC compressor is way the heck down here. So the first step is you take the car and you put it on your lift. All right, once it's on your lift, I'm going to close the hood a little bit. No, I'm going to leave it open. And you put it on your lift, and you lift it up. I already have the things on the jack points. All right, and make sure it's not going to fall off. I'm just shaking it. Ooh, seems pretty good. And lift it up, and come back down. And then what you do is you look to see that it's on the jack points correctly. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. And then after that, you see why you're getting an O2 sensor. Oh, this is why. Yeah, great. So I'm getting a code for O2 sensor. I wonder if this could be it. So this here is a little, this is what's making all the noise too. This is what's scraping. Every time I go over a speed bump, this is hitting. I think that's the only thing that's hitting. This could be scraping too. So I need to order another O2 sensor because I do not have another one. And this thing keeps getting loose. I don't know why. So I guess in the meantime I'll just take this and I'll just wrap it up there. Order a new O2 sensor tonight. This little contraption makes it so I don't get a bad O2 rating because of some reason with the exhaust I put on here and this cowl converter. Today what I'm doing is trying to get to the AC compressor, which is right there. And it looks nice and clean. I shouldn't get dirty at all with this. This should be only about 3 bolts holding it on, and then the top bolt. I have to take the belt off, and probably take this plastic piece off right here. All right, let's start ripping it apart. All right, so we have this long bar, and it's supposed to go into this little up in here. See it? Anyway, it's supposed to go into there, and I'm supposed to be able to turn it so I can loosen that pulley there, a tension pulley. And of course, it doesn't fit. It's in the wrong angle. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to push on this up. Take that, push that up, and then get the belt off. All right, let's see. All right, I need this stuff out of the way. Okay, that was easy. You can see there's a plug right here, a connector. I got to take that connector off, and then the 3 bolts. Let me show you the new one. So I show you where the bolts are, the mounts are. Here's the new one. All right, so it goes. It's in there like this. So there should be a bolt here. Obviously, I have to take this off. And one here, and one on the bottom. So there's the 3. 1, 2, 3, connector, and this. And this is empty. It doesn't have any oil in it, so I have to put 4 ounces of oil in there. All right, take the connector off. All right, connector's off. 13 millimeter. All right, I'm gonna take this feed line off. That's a 13 also. Let's see if I can get it. I'm gonna try to take the last bolt out. I'm gonna try to just take the next bolt out. Maybe I can move enough to get that out. So the only thing holding it are these hoses here. Let's see if I can move it in here. No. Oh. Try this with a 13 on it. All right, so now this should pop out. Yep. And this should just come right out here. Oh, look at that. It's one of those Chinese puzzles. I got it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun putting the new one in. It's AC Delco 25805-685. I'm just looking at the old one and the new one. Pretty much the same. So the O-rings, I don't see O-rings here. That means they're still up there. So I have to dig those out. Let me take this off and see what's on there. Okay, so this is empty. There is nothing in it at all. So I need to put 4 ounces of oil in there. Have the old, pull the old gaskets off. I bought this seal kit. Rip the numbers off. GM number 193-83571. Sorry, I cut it. But anyway, it has all these, a whole bunch of different washers in it. I'm just going to match up the washers. So these washers have a metal ring around them. I need to put 4 ounces. I already looked it up. It's PAG 46. So this syringe is 2 ounces. I have a new bottle. I have a new bottle, same stuff, right? So that's not quite 2 ounces, it's about 3/4. All right. All right, that's not 2 ounces either, that's an 1.5 ounces. So I have to make up a half quarter. So I need to make up 3/4. That should be good. And I'm just going to take some dye. You know, I just got a little bit of dye. Just spray some dye in there. Alright, I want to clean off where the O-rings are, the seal go on. So I've been having electrical issues, and what I just saw up here was there's a ground on the engine right underneath the alternator. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to clean it up and put it back on, because if this AC's back on here, it's going to be tough to get to this. Now it's a good time to do this. Sandpaper, block. I'm just going to take this and bring it over to the grinder. Alright, I hit it on the water wheel. That's what I did. So let's put it back. I take these O-rings, these O-rings, and right here, I'm going to put some oil in this cap. And I'm just going to dip the O-rings in there. Get some oil on them. Lube them up a little bit. Now, to get this in there. Let's see. It's back here. I'm just worried oil's going to drip out. Yep. Oh, look, I got it in. Okay, it's got to go forward. Yep. And that's as tight as I can get it with that. Alright. Now I'm not tightening them. I'm just getting them snug until I get all 3 in. And then I'll go back. Not going in. Okay. All right. All 3 are in. At the connector. Belt, sure. Now it's good. Okay, the belt's on. Everything's connected. So now I changed the evaporator. Alright, now I'm going after the evaporator valve. This is the new one. Look at that. Goes somehow in there. Got it. It looks like, oh, this is the original one. I need to pull the O-rings off of there. Firewall, and then this is here. So these are all this like this little piece right here that was holding this these two hoses together. Just broke, and it fell on the bottom. Those are good things to get when you're at a junkyard. You just get one that has low mileage, and you take it off. It does have an orifice tube. It's all crapped out. Look at it. It does have an orifice tube. It's got a bunch of junk on it. So I'm gonna go see. I didn't buy a new orifice tube, but I purchased them in the past. Let me go see if I have one that matches. Oh, they call it filter. I guess it's a filter. But look at the difference. So I do have one. It looks very similar. I'm gonna see that thing fits in there. It seems like it's all the same sizes and everything. Let's stick that in there. It was in inside this pipe here. Yep. Alright, so this is how the other one went in. You have the 3 holes this way, and on the back there's only 2. So this way it goes. This big long contraption can be used again. Seems like it works pretty well. When I get down to it, I will plane it more. Actually, let me get them started. Okay. Let's get the condenser off. It's already unbolted, remember? This plastic piece here is what it's stuck on. This clips into the bottom somewhere over there. Look, there's that one. Change those O-rings before I put the new one in. Let me see if it comes with new ones. So here's the new one. Goes like this, right? It was silver, and I didn't want to. You could see this through the grill, so I just got some spray paint and I painted it black. So, okay. So the plastic piece goes like this. On this side, 2 clips also. Yep. All right, condenser's in. The lines are on. Just gotta put this back on. Okay, connect this connector. Stick it back in here. All right, well here we are on the 08 HHR. Completely redid the AC system. Put a new condenser, expansion valve, filter, AC compressor. Flushed the lines what I could, all new O-rings, and now I have to charge the system. Before you do that, you need to vacuum it down. So I have my gauges here, and what you do, red is the high side, blue is the low side, and you look right over here, there's a port. These two connectors are different. They only fit on one side. One's larger than the other. So you see the high side's bigger than the low side, so you can't mix them up. And all you do is just go over here, you put it on here. What I do is I put my hand on the bottom of the hose, the line, to support it, and you pull this back, right? Pull this back, and it's just a quick disconnect. All right, so it's on there. I'm just going to put it on there for now. I'll take this one, the low pressure, and connect that guy on here. Okay. Now, these up here are loose. So, you want your gauges to be this way, so you can see what's going on. And what happens is they always twist. So, what I found to do was turn it like all the way around over here, and then tighten them. So I'm tightening the red, and then when I let go of it, it'll spin. And same thing with the blue. The blue's loose. I'm tightening it, and now when I let go, it should spin. Oh, there. So it spins almost where I want it, right? It's spun too much. So I'm going to do this. Because as you turn these, the whole hose and everything, it's just a pain. And you just have to make these hand tight. And then you make the yellow one. Oh wait! The yellow one, I'm trying to get out of here, is your feed line. See, the whole thing spun around. Okay. The blue one got loose again. All right. You want to put a vacuum on the system. So what I have over here, right there, is a vacuum pump. It's a little cheap Harbor Freight. You take your, now I have the end on here, I gotta undo that. This is the part that goes on the can. Take this, put it on the vacuum port. All right, now that's all hooked up. What you need to do is on your valves, your quick connects, you just turn clockwise, you tighten it. You tighten the knobs on the top. What that does is it pushes in the straighter valve, and it opens the valve, right? Okay. This is tight, this is tight. Now these are closed. I want to open these. So these are open all the way. I'll turn the pump on. And you should see, you didn't see me do it. You should see here on the blue, you should see vacuum. So we're at like 28. If you look right here, it's like 28. I'm going to let that run for about 30 minutes. What that does is it gets the moisture out, checks it for leaks. I'm going to let it run for 30 minutes and then shut it off and let it just sit. I'll close these valves and I'll let it sit and see if it leaks. So right now we're at like 28. So I'm gonna put pause and I'll be back. I'm gonna clean up all my mess and then we'll come back and shut it off. Hey, welcome back. I just left this thing hooked up the whole night. So this is the next morning. Hooked up the vacuum. So it looks right here. We were at, when I left, it was like to 28. It's probably at like 27 maybe. So I feel pretty confident that there's no leaks. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open it up again. I'm gonna turn the pump on. I have to get some other stuff. I'm gonna get the Freon and stuff like that. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna just let it vacuum down a little bit more. All right. So you can see, maybe not. All right. We're at like 27, 28 pounds vacuum. Now what we have to do is add the refrigerant. There's a little label here. It says here, right? Only use 134A, and it tells you how much. System charge, 0.9 pounds. So 0.9 pounds, and one of these cans is right here. It's 12 ounces. 1 pound is 16 ounces, but I need 0.9, right? So 0.9 convert is 14.4. So it's going to be one whole can, which would be 12, and I have, let's say 2.5 more ounces. So these new cans are self-sealing. It's got a little valve in there that it presses down and it lets the Freon come out. The old type of can piercer, it's got a sharp little pin there, and it would pierce the can. Well, you can't use these anymore with this because there's nothing to pierce. There's already has a hole. Okay, so if you want to use this can, self-sealing can with one of the piercing type valves, you need to get this adapter. So what happens is this adapter screws on to your can, and then you screw this. What you do is you open the valve all the way, get the piercing part off, and then I put it on here, and it will probably still push. Yep, it starts to push it, even though this is almost, let's see, if I go all the way out. All right, the valve's all the way open. It's still, as soon as you tighten this, it pushes down on the pin inside this valve, inside this adapter, and it starts letting the Freon out. So I put on a little bit. I'm gonna hook the feed, making sure all these are closed. These valves up here. Tighten this on there. It's gonna, yep, a little air comes out. I'm gonna set this here, but I'm opening this up so I can purge it. I got my little angle screwdriver, and I'm just gonna purge this for a second to. There we go. It's purged. All right, now I'm going to start the car up, and then I'll open up the low pressure side and start feeding the Freon. Car is running. Turn the AC on. So open this up. Oh, the pressure just kicked on. Low side is about 45. High side is about 50. So I'm here. I'm just shaking the can a little bit, going tick-tocking from 12 to like 3. Pressure's moving. So the question is, how much do you put in, right? So there's a chart here. On here on the left. Find out what temperature it is outside. The ambient temperature. Today, I'm going to say it's about 85. So we should be looking at 85, 45 to 55 PS on the low side, 225 to 250 on the high. So right now, the high is only at like a little over like 125. All right. I'm gonna continue to add the Freon. I will come back when the pressures are back up. I gotta add this can plus another 2.5 of the other cam. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that video. That was when I did the AC and the HHR. Like I said, it's been running great ever since. The AC is cold as you want it to be, so it really works well. When I took it to the place to get it looked at, he's like, "Oh, you could just change the compressor." But if you see in the video, the filter or orifice tube that was there, I think it was all black and everything. So I'm glad I did what I did, where I took new compressor, new expansion valve, new orifice or filter, and the condenser. The condenser I probably didn't have to do, but whatever. It was easier to clean it out that way. And then I also blew the lines. I don't know if I showed that in the video. I blew the lines out with some air and some brake clean just to get whatever was in there out, which there was nothing in there, so it was probably fine. The compressor went bad. It didn't break, like a clutch didn't break, no internal parts broke. It just started leaking, so that's why I had to replace it. If you have an internal failure on the pistons in the pump, all that metal gets thrown out all through the whole system, and that's really what would ruin everything else. So he might have been right, but still that orifice tube was horrible. I feel better that I put a new one in. So anyway, thanks for watching. You like these videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.